Hi guys. When I was a kid, my mom used to cook lima beans all the time, but mom used to get them out of a can. And today we are going to do some kicked up lima beans. Now, let me show you. I soaked these overnight. And as you can see, they don't have the typical green color. These were dried and in a 1 pound package. That's how many beans a 1 pound package produces after you soak them. So we soaked them overnight. We're going to start off with several different things. I have some red onion, some white onion, bacon. I have some sausage that I sliced up in my Cuisinart. I have carrots. I have orange bell pepper, jalapeno, and celery. I'm using Zummo sausage today. So this is going to be a little kicked up version. This is not going to be one of those short videos. This is going to take a little bit of time. I am going to start off. I've got my stove over some pretty high heat. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And this is a Staub 5-quart, and really been enjoying it. It's the black one, and they were on sale for $149. You can't beat that with a stick because Staub is a nice product. So I chopped my bacon. This is some of my homemade bacon that I've done, and it's going to cook really quickly. I'm not using any oil in this. I could, if I wanted to, use some olive oil, but we're gonna, since the bacon already has some fat, that's gonna be our fat. Since the sausage already has some fat, that will be our fat. So I used the slicing disc on my Cuisinart, and it made some very, very thin slices of meat. I like texture in my beans, my soups, that type of thing, unless it's, say, a cream smooth soup. So with this, I use a slicing disc. You can do it by hand, chop it up by hand, that's fine, whatever you would like. What we want to do on this bacon is just get it cooked down just a bit, and you can see it's smoking. I don't know if you can see that in the video. It's smoking a bit, and we'll turn the fire down. We've already got some fond on the bottom of the pot. Now the fond is the little pieces that tend to be on the bottom of the pot. And when we add stock, which I've got 4 cups of stock ready to go, and I also have my seasonings over here. So these aren't going to be as long to cook as my red beans are. Usually I do my red beans all day, but this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead now, and I am going to add the sausage. And I may even turn this down a little bit more because I got a lot of smoke happening. I'm going to add the sausage, and that's a full pound of Zummo sausage. And great flavor. I use the party time and not the boudin. It's got great flavor. And Mark goes, oh, we're having party time. Party time's really got some good flavor in it. We met the Zummo family at Carly's wedding. Great people and really quality product. We're going to turn off the video for a couple minutes because I'm going to work on this for about 2 minutes and try to get some brownness on the sausage, and we'll be right back. We're back. We're going to add the onion now. So we'll go ahead and get the first round of onion in, and we're going to want to sweat this. This is going to take a little bit of time. So we will turn the video off so you won't have to be bored by sitting here watching me stir the video. And I'm incorporating the red onion and the white. You don't have to mix up the colors. That's what I had. I didn't have any more white onion. So we'll stir this up. As I said, when my mom made lima beans, they were pretty bland. And they also call them back home butter beans, but I do believe there's a little bit of difference between that. These lima beans are just ginormous. And I think we're gonna serve them tonight with a little bit of rice. We'll serve them over rice. And you know, when I do red beans, I make sort of a creamy sauce. I sort of mash the beans up a little bit, and I'll put maybe a little bit of tomato in, And with this, we're not putting any tomato in today. We're gonna put some other things in that will take the place of the tomato. All right, that's looking good. I think we're gonna stop the video for a second. Let me do about 2 more minutes. I turned down the fire a bit, and I've gotten some browning on my sausage. That's wonderful. That adds an extra layer of flavor when you do that. Some people can just throw it in and when they've already added the stock and everything, but the whole thing is we are adding layer upon layer of flavors. First with the bacon, then with the browning of the bacon, and then the sausage. Of course, the onions, we're sweating them out. Okay, so here goes the celery, the jalapeno, and I used a half a bell pepper. So I used a 1.25 cups of celery, about a half of a very large jalapeno, and this is a full carrot. When you are doing this, make sure you don't drop the small blade into your food. That has happened to me before. And usually with a large food processor, you put your finger up in the middle hole and you can hold on to it. With these little tiny mini food processors, you can't do that. But I love this little thing for small jobs and when my big food processor is very busy. So let's give this a stir and incorporate all these other accoutrements in there. We're going to give this another 2 minutes. So we won't bore you, we'll come back. We're gonna sweat these vegetables down a little bit and we'll be right back. So we're back. Let me show you what's in this pot. Can you see all that goodness? And carrots and the bell peppers and all of that. That's great. We're going to take these beans now. We're going to go ahead and pour them in. I pretty much drained them. I have a little bit of liquid left. I'm going to put those in. And we're going to stir it, get all that meat and those vegetables incorporated. Those beans are still relatively hard. I had 4 cups of stock ready to roll, but I think it may take a little bit more than 4 cups of stock. This is the first time I've ever had lima beans expand that much. So anyway, we're gonna see how this works, but we're gonna go ahead and put the 4 cups of stock in and see where we are on that. And that's about right on there. You want it to almost completely cover everything, and we're pretty much there. So we're gonna start adding seasonings. I'm gonna use some crushed red pepper and put that in there. You know how I like crushed red pepper. Then I'm going to use some black pepper, and yes, I'm cheating. I didn't grind my own black pepper, but we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. Now remember, my Zummo sausage already has some seasoning. I'm gonna go ahead and put Italian seasoning in there, quite a bit, maybe like 2.5 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. And then I am going to put some sea salt, but I want to be very careful because some of my stocks that I use do have quite a bit of sea salt, and we always need to be careful about that. And the last thing I'm going to put in is some chopped parsley, and I went out and got the parsley off of my parsley plant, which I'm growing in the backyard, and so it's nice, it's fresh, and it's got a wonderful aroma. So we'll get this going, and we are going to turn the fire down. I might add just a little bit more stock because the stock is not covering the beans at this point in time. So we're gonna go ahead and add some HEB chicken stock. I love HEB chicken stock. I love HEB, what can I say? We're gonna go ahead and do this. And there we go. So now we're covering the beans. So remember, you've got to make sure that you look and see where you are with this, and then add or subtract whatever you need. The same with your seasonings, because if you get too if you put too much salt in, you're going to have problems. You can always throw in a whole potato and that'll help absorb the salt. But you don't want to overdo. You can always taste and see where you are. We're going to give this broth and this everything a little bit of taste. And I'm sure it's not developing yet, but we're going to give it a taste. And it's got some good flavor. We're going to go ahead and cover this, turn it on low, and we're good to go. It's going to cook for several hours. I'll come in here and stir it maybe every 30-35 minutes. If I did it in my Cuisinart multi-cooker, which normally I would do, I really don't have to pay attention to it. But since it's on the stove, since it's with fire, we do pay attention. So anyway, we will be back later to show you the end version, and I hope you're enjoying your day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.